Hi everyone, Materim here again with another battle report. Sorry that it's been a little bit of space between the last couple, but with the holidays and everything, it's been a little harder to negotiate a game with the real life requirements. But got a fun one here. This is going to be my Empire taking on Michael's High Elves in a 2,500 point pickup game. So we've got a pretty nice setup here. We've got a lot of hills. We've got a hill over to the right hand side, which is an Anvil of Vol. There's a normal hill there that has a Grail Chapel on top of it on the far side. The hill right in front of Michael is a scree slope. We have the observatory is standing in as a standard building, wall connecting it, and this tower in the center, which is a wizard's tower. And then a mysterious forest that ended up being a venom thicket, kind of right to the right of that. So definitely some congested areas. He's got much smaller, more maneuverable units, so I'm really going to have to deal more with kind of letting him come to me and then counterattacking rather than being proactive here, I think. Okay, so with deployment, starting over here next to this perfectly normal mausoleum is a lion chariot for the. So then we've got 10 dragon princes with full command and the wailing banner. In there is his prince general on a barded steed with the armor of destiny, enchanted shield, and ogre blade. Next to that is a unit of I believe it's 25 spearmen. There is his archmage in there, level 4 to high magic with the talisman of endurance and the other trickster shard. Next to that is a unit of another 25 spearmen. They have full command and the banner of swiftness, and with them is a level 2 mage to the lore of life with the dispel scroll, and his noble BSB with the armor of fortune, shield, and potion of strength. Then we have a unit of 8 silver helms with full command and shield, and hiding in the back is a Lothran sky cutter with the bolt thrower upgrade. Okay, so for the Empire, I've got 20 great swords with full command. Next to that is my level 4 wizard to the lore of light on a Luminarch. He has the Book of Asher and a talisman of endurance. Up front there, I have a unit of 16 archers with 2 5-man handgunner detachments. Behind that, I have a unit of 30 halberdiers. You can see in the red and white there is a 15-man spearman detachment. There's another detachment I'll go over in the next slide. And then behind that is my general, who is an archlector on the war altar. He has the trickster's helm and the white cloak of Ulrich. And then in that halberdier unit is my captain, the Empire BSB, and he has plate armor and talisman of preservation. Then in the black and brown on the other side of the halberdiers, you see a unit of 15 swordsmen. This is the second detachment of that group. In front of them is a unit of 5 pistoliers with an outrider, and the outrider has the brace of pistols, including the repeater hand pistol. And then behind that, I have my more themed Celestial Hurricanum. Then up here on my War Machine Hill, I have 1 great cannon, 1 mortar, and standing in between the two is a Master Engineer. He has the Hawkland long rifle and the pigeon bombs, just in case I get a chance to use those. And now I will go show all of the scouts, because there is a boatload of them in this game. First of all, we have a unit of 5 Shadow Warriors with full command. Then hugging the wall, we have 2 more units of 5 Shadow Warriors with full command. And over here, as close to my War Machine Hill as he can get, is another unit of 5 Shadow Warriors with full command. And then I have my 10-man Halfling Huntsman with full command hanging out in the forest, and that's how we figured out it was a poison forest. And during Vanguard, I push my Pistoliers as close as I can get to his scouting Shadow Warriors, hopefully to take them out. If I can get first turn, I can just shoot them up before they can get into my War Machine Hill. Alright, so the High Elves steal first turn and start by running their chariot as fast as they can towards anything that really matters, because he is way the heck off to the side. And his first unit of Shadow Warriors claims the Observatory. This one here, just I think they slide to the side a little bit, but not much movement there. His Dragon Princes press very hard to get up into the face of this side of my line, and the Shadow Warriors who were there have danced to the side and are now controlling the Wizard's Tower. And here's just showing where the Shadow Warriors are in the building. His unit with the level 4 High Mage in it has moved up to within an inch of the building, so his next turn he'll be able to dance them out and move his big actual unit in there. I think he just wanted to move these guys in there to block it up because he knew he couldn't get in there in one turn with the High Mage's unit. And everything else comes up really hard here. The Silver Helms definitely want to come and mix it up, and everything else is just very aggressive. And at this point, I've kind of given up my halflings because there's really nothing they're going to do to these bricks out here. It was just kind of bad placement for me, I think. But maybe I'll be able to use them as some chaff. And then over here, these Shadow Warriors move to the side. They're going to... I don't know what the heck they were planning on starting to shoot at. I think they were trying to shoot at the engineer that's up on the hill, but that's where they end up at the end of this movement phase. So we go into magic phase, and as I mentioned in the first, or showed in the first slide, we are using the Khaine Magic Rules, and I just got beat the crap out of by these rules pretty much every turn of the game. I was just absolutely, even on the medium stuff, I was rolling ones to dispel dice. Pretty much every turn of the game, I ended up with at least 4 extra dispel dice at the end of the turn that I just couldn't use because I was getting 1 as my result to be able to dispel. But he opens up with his Life Mage using Awakening of the Wood on the halflings, and I failed to dispel it, and he kills all but 2 of them, but they don't panic, so that's good, and now they're good chaff. I'm really not sure. Then he gets, I don't even remember what the spell is called, but it's the High Elf spell that lets him move ethereally, and puts his Silver Helms right in the face of my swordsman there. Again, he gets a decent roll. I had enough dice to stop it, but the Khaine rules said I only got to try with 1, and that wasn't going to do it, so he got this off. Then he got to drop a Tempest. He tried to do this, I think, on my Halberdiers, but it drifted. Again, at least the game gave me 2 dice to try and dispel it this time. I failed, but it at least gave me twice as many dice as I've had up to this point in the phase. But it drifts here, hits these handgunners, kills 2 of them, and they pass their panic check. And then, because he's just beating me so handily in magic, he decides to throw the Dispel Magic spell that they have on these guys just to get himself the extra ward save. So that whole big unit with this mage in it is like at a 3-up ward save because I just can't stop any of his spells. And while he's at it, here comes a Shield of Thorns on the Silver Helms. Just for the record, I'm not going to go through every magic phase of the game in this detail, but this is a pretty good understanding of how each of my opponent's turns went. I'm just rolling so bad on the number of dice I can use to dispel, I can't stop anything. So he's just kind of having his way with me. And then during shooting, the 5-man gunner or handgunner team on the other side, not the one that was Tempest, gets shot to pieces, but nobody fails a panic check. So we're all right. So we go into Empire turn 1, and I really have no choice here but to try and slow some of these units down. So I bring up the 2 useless halflings and the 3 useless handgunners and set up a double fleece situation here to slow the spearmen with the noble BSB in it from getting to. Over here I move within an inch of the archers just so I can shoot them to death, and hopefully I'll kill enough of them they'll run off the board maybe. So we go into magic phase because I really want to play defensively, let him come to me, particularly where these Dragon Princes are concerned. I end up doing the End Times Light spell in the bubble here, so everything within 12 inches of the Luminarch is now unbreakable for a turn, so I thought that was pretty awesome. But that was all I got off the entire magic phase. So we go into shooting. My archers up here try and shoot up the building. I think I kill one of the shadow fellows in the building, and that was over here. The cannon grape shots the oh Jesus, grape shots the silver helms, and even with the reroll on the artillery die that the engineer gives, I still only rolled 2 shots, only one of them wounded, and 1 silver helm died to a cannon at point blank range. Then over here, my pistoliers and outrider open up like crazy, and only 2 of the 5 shadow warriors die, and they do not even do me the courtesy of breaking. You also see my mortar is turned up sideways. That is because it misfired and cannot shoot this turn or the next. So we go into Elf turn 2. His spearmen here charge at the halflings who turn and run. He attempts to redirect into the gunmen and fails the redirect on a leadership 9 with a reroll. So he's just going to sit right there. Think he advances up within an inch, but that's about it. So that was definitely way to go for a double. Then I believe his bird chariot charges the halflings again. They run, end up right up here on the hill with all my totally worthless artillery. And actually, I represented this a little out of order. I'm sorry. His first charge declared was charging into me with the Shadow Warriors. I decided to stay because I figure, what the big deal? And then he chose to charge, when he charged the halflings with the bird chariot, he redirected into the side of the pistoliers. I chose to flee from that. And it was just pretty dumb to do so. Because the Shadow Warriors can still see me. And they're going to be able to charge, because we don't play with this hill as being impassable or anything. So he's going to end up doing bad things to me here when we resolve this charge. And there you are. 3 elves chase down and murder 5 dudes with handguns on horseback. Whew. Between bum luck and stupid decisions like this, the first turn of this game is looking very, very painful for me. And so that turns the bird chariot into a failed charge, lands in the forest, and doesn't even have the decency to fail the dangerous terrain test. And this is where the spearmen end up because they were not able to redirect. So they still go after where the halflings were going, but end up having to stop here within an inch of the handgunner unit. However, in more successful news, the silver helms charge straight into the face of my swordsmen of Moor, who are gonna die. At least that's what I'm thinking. But at least it's them. It's a detachment rather than a significant unit. So I'm kind of okay with that, and maybe I'll be able to take advantage of it. And I know we spent a lot of time on the other side, but that's because the only thing going on over here is the Dragon Princes charge face first into my greatswords, and that's going to be a bad day all around. Only thing I got that is worthwhile here is that my greatswords are unbreakable, so maybe I can cause them some pain before they eventually kill me to a man. Then with all charges done, the Shadow Warriors in the building jump out, and the Spearman with the level 4 High Mage jumps in, and yeah. If I thought magic was bad last time, it's going to get worse. And then these guys come sneaking out from behind the wall so they can get a good line of sight on something. During magic, he managed to get off quite a few spells, including regrowing the Silver Helms here, and I just couldn't stop him again. But ultimately, it turned out not to be that big a deal. And the reason I say that is we go into combat, and he just absolutely brutalizes these swordsmen. I kill back the 2 that he regrows, and so we start calculating combat experience, combat res, and then I realize that the parent unit was caught within the Unbreakable spell, which transfers to this detachment. So literally nothing that I'm getting into a combat with this turn is breakable at all. So the remaining 7 swordsmen hold off the charge of the Silver Helms, and I'm feeling pretty good about that. Then over here, pretty much the same thing. His lord destroys my champion in a challenge. The rest of the Dragon Princes take off like 2+ ranks of great swords, and I'm unbreakable, so I don't care. I think I kill one Dragon Prince in return, maybe two. But either way, I'm holding them. So, top of Empire 2, my archers charge his archers. He chooses to flee, but I'm okay with that, because all I want to do is get my archers a little forward during the charge phase, so that I can swing my halberdiers around and bring them into the side of the Silverhelms. So this accomplishes exactly what I hoped it would, and stops me from getting shot a little bit for a turn. And you can see I managed to roll 6 on my failed movement, got out just enough for the halberdiers to swing into the side of the Silverhelms. At this point I'm just hoping maybe I can get a couple of wounds, but really I'm thinking static combat res is what's going to do me good here. And then here my support wagons basically form a parking lot, and the reason for this is it is precisely 6 inches from the front of this wagon to the back of the halberdier unit. It is also precisely 6 inches from the back of this halberdier unit to the other fight or the back of these wagons to the other fight that's going on. So I'm spreading those bonuses as much as I can. Maybe a little bit of a cheese move, but with as bad as the magic was dicking me over, this game I really needed to accomplish something. And this is about as close as I figured I could come to it. So I'm hoping I'll get a big enough magic phase so I can throw off some of the battle priest spells, which will affect both combats, and I might be in good shape. And over here, I didn't show it earlier, but I charged the Luminarch into the corner there for the impact hits. I charged the Spearman into the side. I just need to put some hurt on this unit. I have no real thoughts that I'm going to do anything to it at this point. I just need to put some hurt in there and start thinning them down, because there's not many bodies left over here. Hopefully, if I can thin them down a little bit, even if he kills everything over here, then it gives me time to deal with the Silverhelms and be ready when he brings the pain of the 9 Dragon Princes and his Lord all upside the back of my head. So that's my game plan at this point. So, during Magic, all I really got off of note was Foz Protection on the Great Swords, but then I got off Bubble Light of Battle, so nothing over there is going to break again, so he's going to hold off. I was not able to get the Unbreakable spell again, but Light of Battle is frankly just as good. Then we go over here into shooting, and my cannon takes out his bird chariot, so I think he's now on to Sir Reginald 4. And it means I got a kill against him with the Empire, so that's a personal goal that I have achieved. So with no other shooting, we go into combat, and the upset of the century. His Lord declares a challenge my wizard has to accept, and he fluffs. He does a single wound to my wizard. The wizard, obviously, and the Hurricanum do nothing back. But the great swords and the spearmen show up to fight. I think the spearmen killed 2 of the dragon princes. The great swords killed the rest. Or maybe it was 1 and the rest. But basically all that was left was the banner, the champion, and his prince. And I beat him by static combat res. I think he lost by 2. Maybe 3, and he broke. Unfortunately, I was not able to catch him with anything because I am slower than dirt, and he ends up right here against the wall with my whole unit right up his back. But it is his turn next. Only plus side is he is on double ones to rally, so I'm thinking I've got at least one more turn of him running, maybe more. I mean, and it's possible he could run right off the back of the board, which would make me super happy. But what I don't want happening is that Life Mage regrowing the freaking unit, so I'm not entirely sure how I'm going to be able to handle that. And to continue the upsets, the Silverhelms absolutely fluff. All of their attacks total kill 1 of the swordsmen. I think the Halberdiers kill 2 of the Silverhelms, and static combat res wins me the day. He needs double 1s rerollable, I'm pretty sure, something very close to it. They break, they don't run for crap, and the swordsmen chase them down. So we go into Elf turn 3, and I'm feeling good. He charges the Spearman here into my one remaining gunner. I'm totally fine to let him die. What I'm kind of hoping is that he'll kill this guy, overrun into the archers. The archers will compact, and that will actually, with the way the angles work, give me a chance to sweep in with a flank charge from the halberdiers and take those spearmen in the flank. And that would be absolutely freaking perfect. So that's kind of what I'm thinking here. And over here, he does sneak a long bomb charge with the chariot into the great swords, and I'm probably going to lose a lot of great swords to the impact hits here, but if there's a few of them left, I still feel I can kind of handle this chariot pretty well. And the general's unit fails to rally, continues to run, goes over the fence, and the dangerous terrain kills the remaining dragon prince. So he's way out there now, but it means next turn he's going to rally on a leadership 9 and is going to be ready to come right back in. And that is a very powerful character. He can chew up a lot of what I've got left with some good rolls. So I need to take him out toot sweet. Magic-wise, the big thing that he got away with this time was the Dispel magic on my greatswords, so they're no longer affected by Foz protection or Light of Battle. So if he does enough damage here, he could break them and claim those points. Shooting was minimal. I think he killed a couple more archers. Big deal. We go into combat. I don't even think I make him roll to kill the handgunner. I just pick him up. But then he proceeds to overrun 2 inches and doesn't go anywhere. So that kind of screws up my whole battle plan there. And now my archers are really more in the way than anything. Oh, and I think he also got Shield of Thorns off on the Chariot. That makes sense. So Chariot comes in, impact hits, Shield of Thorns, do some damage. And then he whiffs with all the dudes and the lions on the back of it. So I've still got 5 great swords left there. I swing back. I think I put a wound, maybe 2. I lose, but I'm stubborn because we're great swords, and I don't break. So we're holding there pretty good. And the nice thing there is I manage to succeed my reform roll, and get to the point where the Luminarch is going to be able to get a flank charge on his chariot. Impact hits will probably polish him off. And into Empire turn 3, that's exactly what I do. Luminarch comes in, no problem. Over here, my swordsmen try and charge those 3 archers that came back to cause trouble and fail to do so. They stagger forward 2 inches. And here, the spearmen come up to the wall, basically, so that they can see those 5 archers there, so I can kind of get a charge on them. They also still have the general in their front arc, so I'm feeling okay there. Then I start spreading my parking lot here a little bit because I realize I'm too far out. I can't get the 6-inch bubble on both, so I choose to send my general and his buffs to this side and the Hurricanum to the right. So over here, magic, I get Foz protection back up on the great swords, but that's literally all he let me get away with. And I think I'm pretty sure I kill the chariot in impact hits, and we reform as you see here. Actually, this shot of Elf turn 4 reminds me there was another spell I did get off. It was Net of Amentok on these spearmen, and they attempt to charge this turn and fail the Net of Amentok roll. They can't charge. I think they take a wound. They may not have, but really the important part was they couldn't charge. So now I've got counter charge possibilities, but I'm actually thinking more because I'm really kind of afraid of all those ASF shots going into basically unprotected halberdiers, that I want some time to shoot him. I want to land a mortar shot on his head, thin that unit out, maybe even try and sniper his mage out, who knows. But I don't really want to rush into combat there right now. So over here he moves his archers right in front of my spearmen. Not entirely sure why at this point. And these fellas rally. I don't remember if they rallied last turn and moved here this turn or not, but they're rallied and they're coming back to add some firepower to the elf offensive. And then during the magic phase, I realize why he moved his archers there, because he casts Walk Between Worlds. Again, I get 1 die to dispel, fail to do so, and he ends up hiding them right in this nice little nestled pocket here that I have literally no line of sight on, because everybody's facing in different directions. So that's awesome, and those poor spearmen are about to catch arrows in the back. Then he gets another spell off I can't handle. Might have been Tempest again, because I see the template down there, but I don't quite remember. But he ends up taking off, what is that, 5, 6, 8, 8 halberdiers or so, which is not good. But I don't remember if we had to make a panic check, but if we did, we succeeded it. So go into Empire turn 4. My great swords charge into the building. I figure 5 great swords versus 5 archers, that's not too bad, right? I can probably handle that. I've got good armor, they're just strength 3. Maybe I can make them break and take the building. Then over here, I reformed with the swordsman, and I slid over a little bit with the halberdiers so that they're within... I don't remember if I took this before I did the slide over, but anyway, by the end of this, they'll be within 3 inches, so that when he brings in his spearmen into my halberdiers, I'll be able to countercharge with the swordsman and maybe get a little bit of extra combat res there. Then over here, I decide to go ahead and bring the spearman up against the wall again to take the charge from his lord, figuring, yeah, he's still probably going to kill me, but maybe the -1 to hit will help from the wall. I also move up the Luminarch because I pretty much got 1 chance to blast the crap out of him with the laser beam on the back of it to get him killed, now that he doesn't have the 2-up ward protection from the Dragon Princes. So over here you can see I've got some stuff going on. I cast Net of Ammontok back on the Spearman. I cast it again, and I get it off there. I cast it again on his unit with the Spellcaster in it, and miscast it. And no, I don't miscast it. I actually get the actual cast on that time. What you're seeing there is my mortar misfiring and blowing up half of that unit of archers. So, or it didn't misfire, it just drifted and hit him right in the head and killed half of the freakers. I ended up doing the laser beam spell with the Luminarch and only did 2 wounds to his general. So, he's still going to come and get me, I think. So, during combat, the archers kill 2 of the great swords. I kill nothing in response and get pushed out of the fight. Absolutely terrible. Humans with, as Lord Tremendous calls it, sharpened eye beams can't kill 5 pansy elves in a house. It made me cry a little on the inside. Okay, elf turn, I guess this is 5. He ends up not worrying about the Net of Ammontok this time, charges in. I end up countercharging with the swordsman, so that's kind of what we're looking at there. Here he charges his lord into the front of the spearman and his shadow archers into the back. I'm pretty much thinking those spearmen are dead unless an act of Sigmar himself saves them. So during the magic phase, the Net of Ammontok messes with him a little bit, but then he dispels it off of everybody and gets his spearmen like crazy bonuses. I think he did Hand of Glory, so they're all like weapons skill 7 or 8, something stupid like that. Luckily, I have the Luminarch, or not the Luminarch, the Celestia Hurricanum nearby, so I'll at least get a +1 to hit. But that was about it. It was a pretty tame magic phase for him compared to the rest of the turn. So we go into shooting. The archers in the building kill off 1 more of the great swords, but they are still not panicking. And here we see that Sigmar is not, in fact, actually in Karl Franz. He is in these podunk spearmen. He ends up killing a full rank of the spearmen. Spearmen throwback into his lord. Of the 3 that get to attack him, 2 wounds are dealt, and he rolls double 1s for his armor save, and the spearmen kill his general. Yeah, it was a bad day for those dudes. I I don't kill any of the archers in the back. I think I still lose this combat, but not by enough to make my leadership 9 unpassable. And my spearmen don't go anywhere, and they are freaking heroes of the Empire at this point. And over here, there are quite a few blows traded, but after everything is calculated up, my halberdiers just absolutely ripped up these spearmen. I think it was just very fortunate luck, and the +1 to hit was very good. My BSB killed his BSB in a challenge. It was a good day. But they break, they turn, they run, and again, the Empire's strong suit is not being fleet-footed, and neither my detachment nor the halberdiers catch them, and they in fact get kind of tangled up here due to the distances they ran. But we're going into my turn, and that's a couple of charges that might be able to send those spear boys off the table. So, bottom of 5, I charge both of these chariots into the back of these archers. They're just going to die. I'm turning and running with the great swords. Maybe I can get far enough away where he's not going to shoot me to death. But it's turn 5. I'm not going to get that far. It's just funny that they're like, nope, we're out of here. Bye, guys. Over here, swordsman charge his spearmen. They flee. My halberdier unit charges the spearmen. They flee a little more. Then I redirect into his shadow archers. They also flee, so I end up staying there. My archers turn around to take the impossible shots into the building, maybe thin those guys down a little bit. So over here, impact hits kill all but one or two of the shadow guys. They end up doing a wound to my general in return, and then are just butchered. So here is after the reforms. Then we go into top of turn 6, and the spearmen do not rally and run off the board. And we go into his magic phase, and he just didn't get enough dice to really rock anything I had off the board. So we called the game here. All I have to say of how this stands is I am super glad that we weren't playing Watchtower scenario, because I would have had no chance to get that spearman unit that basically spent the entire game with a 3-up ward save out of that tower. That just wasn't going to happen. But otherwise, it was kind of a surprising turnaround given how bad the first round or two went for the Empire, kind of what we were able to do once he had to kind of come to me and I could hit him with multiple supported parts of the army. That's really what I think makes the Empire so strong. But definitely, it was a good game. So here's just kind of your last image, and we'll get into the wrap-up. So obviously a victory for the Empire. I discussed a little bit of what I was thinking on the last slide, but ultimately I really liked this list. I thought I was going to be really screwed without the cavalry I normally bring, but if you can keep bunched up enough, I definitely think it works. Although I have to say, I think it only really works against a glass cannon kind of list. The light magic kept me around long enough to essentially get over the shock and awe of his attack and grind him down. And at the end of the day, high elves, as much as they can put out some pain, they're still pretty much just toughness 3 elves. Now, I'm super glad that he did not bring that spearman unit with his mage out, and he even said at the end of the game that was his biggest mistake, was hiding in that tower the whole time. He did have the opportunity to do a lot of magic from the 360 arc, but he could have done so much if he had had that 3-up ward save just plow into one of my units, and I can't move him. So that was definitely his big weakness. I don't like the handgunners. They really didn't add much other than some extra chaff, but really if I had more models I would have done that as all archers instead of archer handgun mix, but I only have 16 archers. I also totally misused my pistoliers. I should not have fled from the bird's charge, but it's one of those things. I'm not used to using fast cab with the Empire, so I got kind of stupid there. The mortar's terrible. I mean, even against the elves is kind of its best matchup, but I was misfiring, and then it drifted off. And it's such a big pie plate. I mean, I'm toughness 3 too. It's going to be just as good against my stuff as it is the elves. So I may put that on the shelf again. Of course, I may just stop using gunpowder war machines altogether because they're just not helping. I do have to say, the various chariots was awesome. I like that, the various buff wagons as they're called. But at the end of this, we actually decided as a group, or me and Michael, that this is our last time playing Khaine Magic. It's wonky. It takes away a lot of the feeling of control you have, particularly as the magical defender. And it takes a long time, and it's just not really what we're looking for in the game. It very much sucked a lot of the fun out of what was going on. Mainly because I think it could have been better if I had been able to, as the defender, choose how many dice I wanted to throw. But he was throwing everything he needed to on like 1 or 2 dice and getting ridiculous numbers that I was going to need 2 or 3 dice to get away with, and it's just like 1 dice, 1 dice, 1 dice, 1 dice. He also tried Fiery Conflagration, or whatever it is, Fiery Convocation, the High Elf spell. He tried it 3 or 4 different times and never got more than 2 dice that he could use on it, so it never went off, and that would have rocked my world. So I think what we're talking about doing from now on is no Khaine Magic as far as the dice setup, but we are going to still use the Khaine Magic spells, the end time spells. We're going to take away the fact that you cannot dispel them, so they'll be able to be dispelled, and we're going to turn them into a second signature choice. So you can give up one of your rolls and take that spell instead, and we'll kind of see how that works. So other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Please subscribe, like, and comment as necessary. And we will catch you next time. Thanks a lot.